Fact 1. As of early 2026, Walmart's market value officially surpassed $1 trillion, making it the first traditional brick-and-mortar retailer in history to hit that milestone. Fact 2. In January 2026, Bulgaria officially adopted the euro as its currency, becoming the 21st country to join the Eurozone. Fact 3. The Pinninga subterranea, a species of palm tree discovered recently, is unique because it grows, flowers, and fruits almost entirely underground. Fact 4. Female sharks of certain species can reproduce through parthenogenesis, essentially virgin birth, creating clones of themselves without any genetic input from a male. Fact 5. The stink fight is a real ritual used by male ring-tailed lemurs to settle disputes. They rub secretions on their tails and wave them at each other to see whose scent is more dominant. Fact 6. The first person to be executed by guillotine in France, 1977, died in the same year that the original Star Wars was released in theaters. Fact 7. In the 19th century, a popular children's medicine called Mrs. Winslow's Soothing Syrup was actually laced with heavy amounts of morphine and was known to be lethal. Fact 8. The groom of the stool was a highly coveted position in the English royal court, where a nobleman's job was to assist the king with his physical bathroom needs. Many were eventually knighted. Fact 9. Since 1945, all British tanks have been equipped with an internal vessel for boiling water, specifically so the crew can make tea without leaving the safety of the vehicle. Fact 10. The shortest war in history occurred between Britain and Zanzibar in 1896. It lasted only 38 minutes before Zanzibar surrendered. Fact 11. Lord Byron once kept a pet bear in his dorm room at Trinity College because the school rules banned dogs, but specifically omitted bears. Fact 12. There is an actual condition called phantom vibration syndrome, where people mistakenly believe their phone is vibrating in their pocket when it isn't. Fact 13. Saturn is the flattest planet in the solar system. Its rotation is so fast that the planet actually bulges at the equator and flattens at the poles. Fact 14. The Last Bookshop in Los Angeles features a famous bookworm tunnel made entirely of thousands of stacked, discarded novels. Fact 15. There is a village in Finland called Rovaniemi where you can get an unofficial Arctic Circle stamp in your passport, marking the exact border of the polar region. Fact 16. Modern researchers have found that the physical act of smiling, even if forced, triggers chemical reactions in the brain that genuinely improve your mood. Fact 17. In 1849, the famous writer Fyodor Dostoevsky was standing in front of a firing squad when a messenger arrived at the last second with a stay of execution from the Tsar. Fact 18. A 17th century Englishman once wrote a famous letter complaining that the Danish Vikings were too clean and bathed too often, which made them unfairly attractive to English women. Fact 19. The city of Alkmaar once won a siege against Spanish troops by smuggling a request for help inside a pole vaulter's hollow pole. Fact 20. The largest volcanic eruption in recorded history was Mount Tambora in 1815. The ash was so thick it caused a year without a summer in 1816, leading to global famine. Fact 21. The scarcity of horses following the Mount Tambora eruption led directly to the invention of the first bicycle, as people needed a way to travel that didn't require feeding an animal. Fact 22. The 180th meridian cuts through the Aleutian Islands, which means Alaska is technically the only U.S. state that is simultaneously the easternmost and westernmost point of the country. Fact 23. In March 2026, Apple released its most affordable laptop ever, the MacBook Neo, specifically designed to bring their silicon chips to a lower price point market. Fact 24. Bipi Colombo, a joint mission between Europe and Japan, is scheduled to enter the orbit of Mercury in November 2026 to perform the most detailed study of the planet's magnetic field to date. Fact 25. China's Chang'e 7 mission, launching in August 2026, is designed to land a mini-hopping probe on the rim of the Shackleton crater to look for water ice. Fact 26. Taylor Swift became the youngest person ever inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in early 2026, at the age of 36. Fact 27. During the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show featuring Bad Bunny, New York City recorded a water use surge equivalent to 761,000 toilets, flushing the moment the performance ended. Fact 28. A new class of drugs called NaV1.8 inhibitors entered major clinical trials in 2026, offering the first potential for opioid-strength pain relief without the risk of addiction. Fact 29. Artemis II, the first crewed mission to the moon in over 50 years, is currently scheduled to perform its lunar flyby in late 2026. Fact 30. Catacoustics is the actual scientific term for the study of reflected sounds and echoes. Fact 31. The Denmark Strait Cataract is the world's highest waterfall, but it is entirely underwater. It is formed by cold water from the Nordic seas sinking beneath warmer water. Fact 32. Jet lag was not a known phenomenon until the 1960s. Before the advent of high-speed jet travel, people didn't move fast enough across time zones for their internal clocks to desync. Fact 33. A googol is a 1 followed by 100 zeros, but a googolplex is a 1 followed by a googol of zeros, so many that there isn't enough space in the entire observable universe to write the number down. Fact 34. The world's first national park, Yellowstone, was established in 1872, long before many modern countries were even founded. Fact 35. The Voynich manuscript is a 15th century book written in an entirely unknown language that has never been deciphered, despite centuries of effort by the world's top cryptographers. Fact 36. Sweden has more islands than any other country in the world, with an estimated 267,000 separate islands within its borders. Fact 37. The Sargasso Sea is the only sea in the world that has no land borders. It is defined entirely by 4 ocean currents that create a slow-moving whirlpool in the North Atlantic. Fact 38. Glass is technically neither a liquid nor a solid. It is an amorphous solid, a state of matter where the molecules are disordered like a liquid but held rigidly in place. Fact 39. The first telegram sent from the United States to Europe in 1858 took over 17 hours to transmit just 98 words due to the poor quality of the early underwater cables. Fact 40. Ants do not have lungs. They breathe through tiny holes in their sides called spiracles that allow oxygen to circulate directly to their tissues. Fact 41. The hummingbird hawk moth is an insect that has evolved to look and behave so much like a bird that it is frequently mistaken for one even by experienced observers. Fact 42. A quasar is a massive celestial object that emits more energy than hundreds of entire galaxies combined. They are powered by supermassive black holes at the center of young galaxies. Fact 43. The Dead Sea is so dense that you don't just float. It is actually difficult to submerge your limbs because the water pushes back with such extreme buoyancy. Fact 44. The Great Blue Hole in Belize is a giant marine sinkhole that was originally a limestone cave system, formed during the last ice age when sea levels were much lower. Fact 45. Wombat burrows are so structurally sound and fireproof that other animals, like wallabies and possums, have been observed using them as fire bunkers during bushfires. Fact 46. The standard kilogram, was once a physical cylinder of platinum and iridium stored in France. But in 2019, the world switched to defining the kilogram based on a fundamental constant of physics. Fact 47. Peanuts are not actually nuts. They are legumes belonging to the same family as peas and beans. Fact 48. The Hinterkaifeck mystery is one of Germany's most famous unsolved crimes, where an entire family was murdered in 1922 by an intruder who had secretly lived in their attic for days before the attack. Fact 49. El Inconnu de la Seine is the name of a death mask of an unidentified woman whose face became the model for Resuscite Anne, the world's most famous CPR training mannequin. Fact 50. 2026 is the first reset year since 1900 where all the digits 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 add up to exactly 10.